Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So basically in the last video we had discussed about the single inheritance, right? That basically what is the single inheritance and how we write this program for the single inheritance, right? Now today is the turn for the discussion of the multiple inheritance. Today we are going to see that actually what multiple inheritance is and basically how we just like write a program if we just want to write a program for multiple inheritance and how we're just going to do that thing, right? So these are the things that we are going to follow today. So let's get started here. So basically here we are just discussing these topics under the topic that is classes, right? That is object-oriented programming language. So if we are just discussing this topic under the classes, so basically what I just need to do is that whenever I just need to do inheritance, so for that I just need to declare a class, right? Let's say my class name is flower. Okay, let's say this is the class that I have made and it is a flower, right? I would just come down to the like inside the flower class and here I would just make a function. Let's say my function name is category. Fine, let's category is the name of my function and I will just put the brackets and the self has automatically be passed here because I am declaring a function inside my class. Right, so in that case self has automatically been passed here. Now what next do I have? So I can add a print statement inside this function that is category and let's say I would just write that let's say I would just write it is a sunflower. Okay, it is a sunflower. Okay, right, this is a sentence which I have just written here and I will just come out of my function and even out of my class. Right, till now I had just made a class and that class is actually my flower class. Okay, after that I had made a function inside that class and it is category. Okay, inside that function I simply printed a statement that is it is a sunflower. Now coming on to the next procedure, I would again declare one class. Let's say now that class is let's say my plant class. Okay, I would again put the colon, come on to the next line, define a function here. Let's say I would just write here the function as type. Okay, let's say type, and self has automatically been passed here. And I would simply add my print statement here. Print and basically in the bracket, let's say I would be writing that this, okay, just let me quickly write it correctly. This is a, let's say, small plant. Okay, this is a small plant. Fine. Now basically what I can just do here now, I would be just applying my technique for doing out the multiple inheritance. So basically what I just mean from multiple inheritance. So I can say that a class having the properties of two or more than two classes is called a multiple inheritance. When we inherit a class, okay, sorry, when we inherit two or more than classes, okay, two or more classes into a single class, so that is called as multiple inheritance. So I would just write out a definition here as well that when we inherit, okay, that I would just simply write when we inherit two or more classes into a, and I would just put again a hash here, into a single class, that is known as multiple and then inheritance. Fine. This is the definition that we have here for the multiple inheritance, and that is that when we inherit two or more classes into a single class, that is called as multiple inheritance, right? So here basically I have? So I have two classes here, right? One is my flower class and another is my plant class. Now the next thing that I'm just going to do here is that I'm just going to declare one more class, and inside that class I'm just going to like inherit this flower and the plant class. Let me show you that thing. So let's say I just declared a class. Let's say the name for the class is purchaser. Fine, and in the bracket I would just inherit my both of the classes. First one is my plant class and second one is my flower class, right? So this step which I had just written right now on the line number 11. Okay, let me come down here. This step is actually called as multiple inheritance. Okay, this is the line where I have performed the multiple inheritance. So now inside this I would again just declare a function. Let's say my function is let's say final. Okay, I would put the bracket and self will automatically be passed. Then inside the print statement, basically what I would be just doing, I'd be writing that let's say I want flower as well as plant. Okay, I want flower as well as plant. Fine. So this is basically how we just do the multiple inheritance. Let me quickly explain you that here in this line what I have done. So I had made one of my class, that is purchaser class. Okay. Now this purchaser class will be having its own property, that is final function. Okay. Inside this purchaser class I had defined its own function, that is final. And inside that I just added a printf statement. Now in this purchaser class, what I have done is that I have inherited a plant class and a flower class. Now, whatever the properties were associated, I mean whatever the functions were associated with the plant and flower class. Now, my purchaser class is having all the rights to access those functions and to use those functions, because what I have done, I have applied my multiple inheritance here. So because of that, whatever the properties, whatever the functions, whatever the things I was having inside my plant and my flower class, so both of these have come onto my purchaser class as well. So let's do one thing, let's make the object for the class here, and after that I would just like try to run it and show you that how it actually works, right? So let's see the object which I had made here, let's say white. Okay, let's say white is the object which I had made here, and the class for which I'll be making the object is purchaser class, because here I'll be making the class, I'll be making it for the class in which I had inherited this plant and the flower class, right? So I just made here white is equal to purchaser. Now with the help of my object for my class, that is purchaser, I would just write the object here, that is white, and I would try to access the type, and I would try to access all the three functions, so that will category, type and final. Okay, so on the first line it would be here as category, then coming on to the next line it would be white dot final, and basically at the last line it would be white dot, and here it would be type, right? So these are the three functions, and now I would just run my program here once again for a while, and let's show you. So see, now basically here what output I am getting the first output as it is a sunflower. After that I am getting I want flower as well as plant, and this is a small plant. Let me just like decrease it a little bit and show you that basically is this all the things which I like got here as an output, are they matching to the real program or not? So what I had just used here, the first one I had used here is category, then final and then type. Go on to the category. Right, so flower is the class in which I am having the category as a function, and inside this it is written as it is a sunflower, right? Okay, after category I had used final. So purchaser class, inside this class I had the final function, and inside this it is written I want flower as well as plant. Yes, that also I got. And at the third I had written type, right? So type was a function which was declared inside the plant class, right? So inside that it was written this is a small plant. Right, so these are the like functions which we had like used. Right now we had accessed all of these functions using the object of the purchaser class, and all this was possible because I have inherited the plant and the flower class into the purchaser class. If I haven't done this thing, if I haven't like applied this procedure, then basically it will show me errors, it will not execute. Let me show you, let me just quickly like erase out these brackets. Okay, and now I would just run out my program here. See, basically it is giving me some error, and that it is that purchaser object has no attribute category, right? So we cannot now access the functions which I have inside the flower class and inside the plant class. So if you just want to use out both of those, then what we just need to do is that we just need to call out the just inherit the flower and the plant class here. Okay, now here one more concept comes, that if all the functions, like the functions which I had made here, if all of the functions are having the same name, okay, for the all the name which we are having basically here, all of them, if they have the same name, same function name, okay, then what will happen? So let me just do one thing, let me change these two functions to the name as type which is already declared. Okay, this all type is already we are having in the purchaser class. Okay, in the plant class we are having, so I would just make it to purchaser for type. Now the case is that all the three classes which we had made here, all the three classes are having their name of the function as same. Right, now if I just like try to remove this, and if I just try to write a white dot type, and now if I just run it, so now have a look that basically what output will I be getting? I'll be getting that I want flower as well as plant. Now why I am just getting this answer? Because two other are also having the same name, but why only one? Because Now the like the control of the program, the execution of the program will like run from the downside, it will go from the down till above. So as soon as it go to my class purchaser, because this was the first class which is present from the downside, right? It gone to my purchaser class, and inside my purchaser class it found a function, and that is type, right? It found that function that was type. So inside that type, it simply found that it was written that I want flower as well as plant. So it simply stopped at that point and simply printed me the answer, that is I want flower as well as plant, right? So this is the whole concept which comes under the multiple inheritance topic, right? I have just explained you that basically when we inherit two or more classes into a single class, that is basically called as multiple inheritance. After that, I have declared the classes, made the functions, and in line number 11, this place I had just applied the multiple inheritance and even showed you the examples, right? So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.